Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 20 and today we are starting things off next to something that you guys have not seen before. Okay, you guys have not seen any of this stuff, so I should probably do a little bit of explaining. My plan was that I was going to create an arc, okay, an arc that travels from this center point right here. This is the center point of the circle. It travels from this center point right here to that center point on that one right there. And I was going to build an arc between this circle and that circle, between that circle and that circle, between that circle and that circle and that circle and that circle. Basically connecting up all of the circles using a bunch of arcs. It was going to look awesome, at least that's what I thought. And then two things happened. Number one is I messed it up. As you can see right here, it comes out of this central point here, it goes all the way along like this. You can see there's a slight wobble in the circle, which I guess is me probably messing it up. And then as we approach the other side, you can see, yeah, we were miles off. We were quite the way off there, so unfortunately it didn't match up. But number two, if we just hop onto the second account right here, you'll see it looks a little bit terrible. So here it is. This is the base. As you can see, it looks like the quadricopter, the drone that you guys already know and love. And then we have this slightly horrible mess. I mean, it doesn't look good, does it? The circle is far too big. It looks just silly, it looks a little bit ridiculous, it doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the base, and essentially I thought, you know what, that's not something that I really want. So we are not going to be building that circle right there. We're not going to be building it in this way. I've literally just scrapped that episode completely. I spent an hour and a half. I kid you not. It has taken me an hour and a half to construct this tiny little thing that you can see right here, just because I messed it up so many times. I got the maths wrong so many times. So yeah, that is 1.5 hours of work, but I'm completely getting rid of it because I've decided instead of doing that, what I want to do is I want to build a circle that actually connects them up from this point right here. That way it's an equal length or distance away, just like these ones right here, so it's nice and uniform. And also, I just think it'll look really cool. I think it'll look really cool and it'll be using a similar design to these ones over here. So it's not going to be like a major walkway like these ones. It's just going to be a decorative circle. That's essentially it. So unfortunately, it's another circle building episode of Minecraft. Once again, Hermitcraft is getting very, very circly at the minute. But I can promise you, once that's over, all of the circles will be done, and we can finally get down to business and actually do some work on the proper base. In fact, we will be doing a bit of that towards the end of today's episode, so you've got that to look forward to. So I guess project number one of today's episode is to take out the progress from the previous scrapped episode of Hermitcraft that I recorded, and while I do this, I just thought I would mention two very quick things to you guys. Number one is that I'm having some pretty serious computer problems at the minute. My mouse is playing up, and also it seems that every time I stop recording, my computer just hard crashes. Really does crash out, so I don't know what's going on there. But number two is the fact that on Saturday at 10 in the morning, I'm going to be moving into my new office. Now this has been a long time coming. Is something that I'm ridiculously excited about. So expect to see a few videos from that place, you know, like moving videos and house tours and that sort of thing coming up in the near future on the Mumbo Jumbo channel. Of course, on the second channel, I'll try my best to cover some extra bits as well. But I am ridiculously excited. I just have to get the internet sorted and some furniture sorted, and then I'm good to go. So that'll be the new home of that Mumbo Jumbo. And I just can't wait to get myself in there. Just can't wait to get myself in there. I'm finally flying the roost, and we are finally going to be able to move out. Good stuff. Okay, so if my maths is correct, the diameter of the new circle that we're going to be building is 93 blocks. Okay, so it is going to be 93 blocks. Now, the reason it's not 89, because this right here is 89. The reason it's not 89 is because I don't really want it to be exactly on these blocks right here. It's in fact going to be on these blocks right here. Now that means that circle is going to come across like this, then it's probably going to drop down and follow this line, then it's probably going to continue on from this point and basically go from this point right here, which should hopefully look a tiny bit cleaner than it coming out from that point there and then being all like busy in this sort of section right here. That's my mentality anyway. I don't know if it's going to pay off. I'm quickly going to generate the circle, see what it looks like, and hope for the best. Perfect. That is where the circle is going to be popping out from. Right there. This is where the circle is going to go, and it's going to continue on, hopefully, to that exact same point on the other side. But we're about to find out if that is the case or not, because as you guys know, haven't had the best of luck with circles so far today. And once again, I do just want to apologise for the fact that this is another circle-centric episode, but I love circles. My base is heavily based around them, but once this one's done, hopefully there shouldn't be any more. But anyway, I guess I've got to continue on. So this is the 6er, then this is a 5, and then this is going to be a 3, and then another 3, and another 3. But first off, I should probably build it out of the correct blocks, because, yeah, we're not going to be using orange stained clay. Okay, here comes the moment of truth. So that's for 5, 1, 2, 3. Excellent news, ladies and gentlemen. I have built a circle correctly for the first time today. Oh, that is glorious. Okay, so this circle connects up to the exact same point. And, oh, that looks wicked. Oh, I think that looks so cool. I mean, obviously you can't see it particularly from down here, but you can see it from up here, and it's just like another notch onto the base. And obviously on the inside of this one, for once, we're actually going to have our red hardened clay. Or are we going to have that on the outside? Oh, that's a good question. Should we have it inward facing or outward facing? I genuinely don't know the answer to that question, so we're going to leave it because it's a difficult one and I don't want to rack my brain just yet. But that looks mega. Seriously, seriously mega. Let's hop onto the second account and just make sure that everything is shipshape. Okay, let's see if I remember it. I've got my eyes closed. Okay, so the start is 3, then it's 5, then it's 5 3s, a 2, a 3, 9 2s, a 3, a 2, 5 3s, a 5 and 3. I think that's it. I seem to remember that's it. It is! Okay, I am so good at remembering the sequences of these circles. I swear, it just goes straight into my brain. I think this might be my new skill. So currently we're on the first 2, which means we've got another 8 to go. So that's the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and yeah, I am going to put you out of your misery because it is so boring to watch me placing in the blocks for these circles, because essentially all I'm doing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's just very, very boring indeed. But anyway, there are the 9 2s. Now I've just got a 3, a 2, 5 3s, a 5 and a 3. Easy. And that, my friends, has confirmed that I have in fact got a supernatural memory and have remembered the entire circle. And I just want to say that from up here with all of these rings, it looks like a Space Age Colosseum. Forget the Space Age Iron Blaster, okay? That is so episode 16. Space Age Colosseum, I think, is the new thing, because this looks mad. But anyway, now that I've memorized the arcs that we need to use, this other half of the circle shouldn't take too long whatsoever. So I'm going to crack on with that one, and then I'll catch you guys in a little. Even the shadow of this thing looks absolutely mental. Can I just point that out? It just looks crazy and deadly. There's lots of creepers and spiders down there, but that's not really the shadow's fault. Well, it is the shadow's fault. Maybe that's helping, but it definitely looks cool. It looks like a big target. I feel like I should drop TNT on... No, I'm not going to drop TNT on that. Stop coming up with stupid ideas, Mumbo. You've got circles to build. Because I'm all about that base, all circles. All about that base, all circles. I'm all about that base, all circles. Remind myself to cut this out. After a few little sing-songs, and also some checking out of the shadow of the base, the entire circle is now all done, and yeah, it looks brilliant. I think this is about as many as I could possibly want. I don't want another layer on top of this. I think that would start getting ridiculous. I think this is the perfect quantity. I was a little bit reluctant originally to do a third layer, but I definitely think it looks cool. Definitely looks cool. Now I guess it's time to hop onto the second account and see if it actually looks cool from down below, because that's probably the most important thing. So, here goes. Well, that answers that question. Holy guacamole. It looks wicked. I'm so chuffed. That looks awesome. I think that looks good anyway. I personally think it looks really cool. And that's obviously without having all the blocks on the inside of it. We've got blocks to add in yet. We have got extra blocks to add in. And I don't actually know what side the blocks are going to go on. I still don't know that. I think I asked that earlier on in the episode, and I still don't know the answer to it. But that looks amazing. Yeah, it definitely looks awesome. I mean, seriously, it looks like a crazy, crazy base. I've got a mad-looking base, and I'm so, so happy that all of the hermits can see it from the towns and all that sort of thing. It looks mega. Seriously, seriously mega. Okay, well, I guess now it's time to start chucking in the familiar blocks. We're going to be using redstone clay once again. What I might do is I might do one side where I put the redstone clay on the inside, and one side where I put it on the outside, and do a little comparison, because I guess that's probably the fairest way of doing things. So guys, I've come up with a slightly wild idea that I don't know if it's going to look good or not. I genuinely have no clue if this is going to look good or totally awful, so there's only one way to find out, and that is to actually try building the thing. But that is to place in hardened clay going through the center, then we're having birch wood around the outside. But one thing that I will say is that it's a little bit chunky. That is bigger than I wanted it to be, but it does look quite cool. And then on top of that, I was going to have sandstone slabs. So the sandstone slabs were going to be just up on top, only on top of the hardened clay. So they weren't going to be all the way across, it's just going to be on top of the hardened clay. Let's quickly see what those look like. I hope they look good, basically. it will give a tiny bit more depth to the build, I suppose, because at the minute it's looking very, very flat indeed. But the chances are that we've made it just a tiny bit chunky. So what I might have to do is I might have to take off the corners maybe of the birch wood. That could be an idea, but let's just quickly chuck these in and see how that looks. Straight away, I'm not particularly sold on it from this angle. It looks okay, actually. That doesn't look half bad, you know. It doesn't look half bad. Maybe I'll finish the arc and then take a look at it from the second account. So, there it is. This is it. There is Mr. Mumbo Jumbo himself. He is looking right at his shoulder. He's checking himself out right there. But then underneath, we've got the hardened clay, and it looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks cool. The only thing that I will say is that it should definitely connect up to this hardened clay right here. I need to place in that block right there that I've got my head in. But yeah, it looks really cool. If we go further away, you can see it's definitely like red, which is nice. That's definitely nice, because otherwise it will be a lot of sandstone, a lot of birch. This is definitely bringing the most color, which is a pretty good thing in my opinion. So it looks cool. I'm really, really happy with the way that it looks, to be honest with you. So I guess I'm going to do that for the other 4 quarters or 3 quarters of the circle, and then that will be everything decorative all done and dusted. Progress is coming along nicely. Half of the circle is now in place. All of our red stained clay is in. Things are looking colourful. I didn't manage to mess up. Everything is good. My guy is still looking cool. Checking out his little birchwood slabs right there. And yeah, this is good. This is absolutely good. And that looks mad from above. Well, I never thought I would create a base this crazy. I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm very, very happy that I did. This needs to go though. And whoa! Oh! Oh, okay, that was close. Thank you, Joe Hills. You have just probably partially saved my bacon. There we go. That is it done, I think. I think every single block is now in place, which means that the entire thing is now all done. I should probably remove that netherrack right there. How long has that been there? Has that been there forever? Has that been there for the entire time? Okay, well that's now gone. And there we go. This is it. This is what the base looks like. This is all of the decoration completed. And yeah, it looks brilliant. I really, really like it. This is exactly my style of base. I love it. I think it's awesome. It's the sky base I've always wanted to create. I've always wanted to create a sky base. I just never really knew how to do it. I never really knew what I was going to do. And this is exactly how I wanted to do things. It looks awesome. Seriously, seriously mega. And it barely uses any stone slabs. Let me just throw that out there. Okay, I just want to throw that out there. Barely uses any stone slabs. So those of you saying that I use too many stone slabs, check out this place. I use too much sandstone. I use too much birch. But stone slabs, there's only a couple of them. Anyway, obviously, I'm going to check it out with the second account now. See how it looks from down below. But so far, so good. And boom. Smashing. Absolutely smashing. That looks fantastic. I'm a big fan. Hello, Mr. Ghast. This looks awesome. Looks cool from every angle, guys. It looks cool from every angle. It's huge. It's a big old base. Let me get a screenshot of this bad boy. Let's just line this little fella up. And boom. There we go. There is a screenshot. That is looking good. That'll be the thumbnail for the video. Or at least in theory. However, there are a few extra things that I want to do. In fact, the first thing that I want to do in today's episode of Hermitcraft is I actually want to start work on the storage system. We're actually going to be placing a storage system in this back circle right here. This circle out the back here, this is where the storage system is actually going to be going. So we're going to have like a big long platform that goes right the way across the circle, and then off the sides of that we're going to have all of our chests, and of course all of the hoppers and the redstone. We're not going to be doing the chests, and we're not going to be doing the hoppers and redstone in today's episode. However, we are going to be planning that thing out. So I think that's the plan for the next few steps on the Hermitcraft server. Good morning, everyone, or at least good morning for me. As you can probably tell, my voice sounds a little bit different because it is currently 8:05 in the morning. I have woken up around about half an hour ago, and I've hopped onto the Hermitcraft server and done just a tiny bit of work. So, this right here is where our storage system is going to be going. This is the storage system area. The chests are going to be coming off each side like this. They're going to be going up like that and up like that. I think we're probably going to use a similar setup to what we've done in Hermitcraft Series 3, because that was a really, really good setup. We had a few low-level chests there, and then we had the higher-level chests up at the top, and I think that looks really good and should work absolutely perfectly. So this is going to be our platform for all of our chests, and of course our sorting system and all that sort of thing is going to be going in this space over here. Now hopefully it should end up looking really quite good, but as always I feel the need to check this thing out from down below because that's a very, very integral part of this base. I want it to look good from down on the floor. So once again, as always, let's hop onto the second account and get our peepers on it. And sweet, that looks awesome. That looks so cool. That actually looks better. I can't believe it. It looks better now that we've got something going on in the circles. Oh, wow. I'm really impressed with that. That looks so cool. Oh, okay. My other account's about to be attacked. My other account's about to be attacked. Hang on. Let me just... get out of town. Okay. Fine, back over to this account. We sorted them out good and proper. But I really need to do some lighting up. I've just realised that. I need to light up all of these rings. But that looks really good. That looks seriously cool. So I'm very happy with that design. One thing that I will say though is that yes, lighting up is definitely a priority right here. So I'm definitely going to light up this platform right now. Now I managed to get lucky first time with my glowstone placing. Apparently I can do it so it's 3 blocks apart on every single one of these. So that's one there. One there, and basically where all of these slabs are. Yeah, you get the idea. Now I thought the next thing that I could do is run a little bit of a line going out from here and basically across the entire circle and into the side of the platform. Just to like... Now I thought another thing that I could do is run a line of redstone clay out like this from the center of the circle, running it into the center of this platform right here, just to make it look like it was suspended by something. Now, I don't really know how I'm going to do this. What I am considering doing is actually running it up like that and then placing one up like that. Then maybe replicating the sort of design that we have going on over here with the birch wood on both sides of it with sandstone on the top. Maybe that could end up working nicely. Then we'll have sandstone slabs going across from here all the way across and into the side of that one. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I personally think it sounds like it will look quite cool, but I don't really know. So for the most part, it is now being completed, and I don't think I like it. However, I have come up with another idea, which I think will look quite cool, but it's obvious it's very predictable. It's very predictable, and that is to create another circle inside this circle right here. I think it will look good though. I think it will. I think it will look really cool. So that might end up being what I do, because I think that looks far too abrupt. Like, that looks way too abrupt, and it just doesn't quite suit the style of what we have going on. So yeah, I definitely think another circle is in order. We're going to make one that's slightly smaller than this, probably 5 blocks less in radius, so 10 blocks less in diameter to really shrink it down, and it will just go in the middle here, so that all of the other stuff that goes on top, like the storage system and things like that, that will all look like it sort of fits in, I guess. Looks like it's resting on something, which actually sounds like quite a good idea to me. So I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to generate the circle, and we'll see what it looks like. And this should pretty much round up our circle. That is 2, and then 1, 2. There we go. So that is the circle all completed. This is our inner circle right here. And then, of course, on the inside of this thing, we are going to be using our red stained clay like we have right here. Basically mimicking the same design that we have going on this. But I've just realised something, guys. I've built my sandstone. I've built it on the wrong layer. Oh, that's frustrating. However, we could do this one slightly differently, and I've actually just come up with an idea that I think will look 10 times better. So that's a positive thing, I suppose. Still a pain in the backside, though. You know what, guys? Having just popped onto the second account, I actually quite like the circle just as birchwood. I feel like it might be too much if we start adding in... Can you imagine if it had all the red stained clay on the inside of that thing? I think it might be too much. It's really nice the way that it is, because it's just like a subtle little circle. It doesn't bring in too much brightness, and it's just a nice little extra detail into the base that I personally think looks really quite cool. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to take a screenshot of this guy, and I'm going to do it right the way from down at the bottom here, so that you can actually see the ground, so that you can get a rough idea of the scale of this base, because I'm pretty chuffed with how big we've managed to make it in what, about, well, this has been about maybe a week and a half of work. that's not bad going. I would say that is pretty good going, and I'm very, very happy with the progress that we've made. But anyway, we're going to hop back onto the Hermitcraft server now. We're going to pop it back into this little fella right here, because now I want to check out something else that's going on the server that I personally am extremely excited about. Okay, so I believe we are in the correct location. Let's just pop on through the Nether Portal. This is something that gets me rather personally excited if I am in the correct place. Oh, that looks promising. Yes! Tango Tech is working on the Iron Titan. As you can see right here, we have got villagers, we have got a large quantity of like the structural elements all in place, and that's big. Okay, that really is big news. Let's check out what resources he's got. He's got loads and loads of wood for it, which is good, and just, yeah, a ton of general stuff. Bunch of iron blocks as well, which is nice. Few repeaters and pistons. But yeah, this is going to be the Iron Titan. As you can see, at the time of recording, he does not have any of the doors in or anything like that. However, I do know that he is going to be putting in all of the doors in his next episode of Hermitcraft. Now, if you aren't watching Tango Tech's Hermitcraft episodes, would highly suggest checking them out, because obviously they're very impressive indeed, and he's building things like that. In fact, he designed this, in case you're wondering. He designed the Iron Titan, so he's a pretty good guy to have on your server, isn't he? He's a very good guy to have on your server because he builds this thing for fun. So this thing is going to be amazing. Once again, this is going to generate all of the iron that all of the hermits could ever need. We're going to have buckets and buckets of the stuff once again, which I'm excited for. However, I'm not going to be using iron blocks at all, really, in any of my builds. I've decided I'm going to try my best to stay away from that sort of thing. But the main reason it's exciting is because hoppers, because pistons, and because of minecart rails and all those sorts of things, they all come with having large quantities of iron to just splash about, basically. So I'm very, very excited for this. So go check out Tango Tech. I'll try my best to remember to link him down in the description. If not, then just search up Tango Tech, and I'm sure you'll find him because he's a fantastic YouTuber. But anyway, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode on the Hermitcraft server. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.